Yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm really excited to share my session. And I really appreciate if you guys please donate. I also donated, and it's really something which C Sharp Corner and the Power Platform community, it actually is helping for the children, right? So we should do something about children, what's happening here in the COVID time. So my session is about how we can use SharePoint data with Power Apps. Right now, Power Apps become so famous these days, and maybe the SharePoint taking at the backstage. But how I show you how important to have the SharePoint as a backend, and we can surface the same information using new technology, which is Power Apps, and we can use inside your apps and the mobile applications or on the web or on the tablet. So I will see how it works in my demos. So about me, which Simon mentioned, I'm Microsoft MVP, MCT, and also Nintex VTE. I'm do a lot of consulting work into SharePoint and data platform. I'm also a trainer, and you can contact me on my LinkedIn, on my blog, and this is my Twitter handle. I'm quite available all the places. Okay. So agenda is quite simple. We see the what innovation which Microsoft have done so far in terms of SharePoint. Okay, and then we see how why the Power Platform is actually is taking a lead in terms of low code, no code solutions. Okay, and then we see the how Shape and Online can work together with Power Platform. Okay, so we can have Power Platform with Power Automate, Power Apps, for that matter, even Power Virtual Agents with Shaper Online. So it's an ecosystem. And then we see that how Shape an Online Power Platform and Teams together can help us, right? So it's an ecosystem which help us to make the all our users and users to use our services seamlessly, irrespective if you're using SharePoint Online, if you're using Teams or using Power Apps or Power Automate. Everything can be done without any kind of hassle. Okay. Then again, I have demos. So I have a couple of demos on that. First thing first. Now, what happening these days is about we have a lot of challenges when it comes to the business, right? Transforming business is a big challenge. Now we have a lot of budget constraints. We have business expectations, and it's irrespective of the scale of the company, whether it's a small based company or a big company like Microsoft or Accenture or IBM. All the companies have some kind of paper processes, right? And they could be a simple applications or it could be complex processes. No matter what happens, we always have shadow IT. We have some people using WeChat, WhatsApp, Dropbox, which is not controlled by your corporate, right? So maybe a lot of people do messaging using WeChat, or for that matter, Viber or any other applications, which is not controlled by your IT, right? Security compliance is a big thing in terms of the transforming your business, and we always have some legacy system which we have to maintain irrespective, right? So these are the few challenges we have seen so far where transforming the business is become a bit challenging, and we see how the Power Platform can help in that. Okay. Now, if you see the roadmap of SharePoint Online, the ton of amazing stuff which is happening. Now, this is not the latest slides, but if you see that that we have something called as SharePoint Syntax, which is already have AI and data extractions without any kind of things. The user doesn't need external knowledge how to use AI models. Everything is ready made. It's a model is already ready made for you. You have to just use it. Same thing happened to the knowledge sharing topics and cards, which is available into SharePoint Online. And again, we have a syntax, which is I just shared to you that we can use a lot of stuff there inside. Taxonomy, a lot of things there. And we have something called as a content assembly and the adaptive experiences. So these are the about some roadmap which SharePoint Online and new features which Microsoft and SharePoint Online have come in to help you in terms of enhance the capabilities of SharePoint. Okay, so again, we're talking about the SharePoint site, home site, content management systems. A lot of features, new web parts are coming all the way. And in terms of the end of 2020, again 2021, a lot of new stuff is coming into SharePoint. Okay, for example, you will getting something called as a org web chart, which is not there for many years. So you can have a org chart, yeah, and you can have your own might feed web part, which is inside with inside your SharePoint. Everything's ready-made, drag drop kind of functionality. Everything works smoothly. Okay, so these are a few features which you can use in your SharePoint Online. Right? Again, no code, just drag and drop kind of stuff. You can do it. Okay. Now, why SharePoint is a core? Because it actually includes a lot of amazing stuff like provision a new SharePoint site. Again, you have the backend is SharePoint site. All your files, OneDrive things are stored into your SharePoint, and even your Microsoft Teams. The backend is always SharePoint, right? All your permissions, all the things are actually controlled by SharePoint. Okay, and all your apps and spaces, everything is there. Okay, so these are the few features which we can use it. I actually highlighted something called as automation and accessibility. So what I mean by the automation now, SharePoint is if you go to 5 years back, there was only one tool called as SharePoint, which does everything, which creating document libraries, which does web part, info path forms, they work for everything. Now, what Microsoft found that this SharePoint has become too loaded and the performance actually decreases if you have so many things for one tool. So what they Microsoft done, actually they had segregated a different tool for each things. For example, Power Apps for creating, building the apps, which you can embed inside to SharePoint. Or you can use some automation using workflows, Power Automate. Yeah. So what happened, right? SharePoint is become has less loaded, and that's why I have a better user experience, because SharePoint is mostly is a backend system for storing your files, storing your pages, storing your applications, right? So if you have too much data, obviously SharePoint can't have too much information, and the user experience will be suffer majorly. Okay. Second thing is we can have extensibility. You can add your SharePoint framework components and then make it much better. So we have to use something as SharePoint framework so that you can extend it using same kind of tools which you are using for many years. Okay. So and again, we have seen so many differences, so many improvements by SharePoint team, that we have an amazing, fast and phenomenal review of the SharePoint. It's much faster. You see, performance is almost 3 times faster, interesting, and we always have many file types. Why? Reason being because now SharePoint is just doing what? Storing files, right? And storing your documents, right? So all the other parts like your workflows, all your other stuff actually is taken care of by whom? By Power Apps, Power Automate, and for that matter, even Power BI for reports. So everything works smoothly, and you have better performance because you have a light system which just managing your permissions and documents and your files. Okay, and that's why you have better user experience. And also it has your own inside AI insight. It has the innovations inside that one. So Microsoft SharePoint is a really a core where you can extend it to your hard content. Okay, so again, is SharePoint Online can be used by the authors, the people who are the end users, maybe the normal HR users, finance people. They can create sites and pages. These are normal authors. Then in the second tier, we have people who are solutionists. They make a low code, no code people. So they create Power Apps. They can use something called as Power Automate. Again, we'll see in my demo. I can also integrate with Power BI. So a lot of things we can do. And we have people who are really expert, who have pro developers. They can extend it to your SharePoint Online to a next level. They can add adding your SharePoint framework. You can add your Microsoft Graph. You can add your machine learnings. Everything can be done, right? So what Microsoft is trying to enable is that all three different audiences, whether they are your author, or whether you are a low-code person, or you are a pro developer, all people can work together. That is a agenda for Microsoft, that to enable everyone. Okay. Now let's move to a lot of things. I talk about the general stuff. Let's talk about the Power Apps. Now, Power Apps, we have three different ways. I won't talk about all the details, but we are talking about the Canvas app. So what is the Canvas? Just like if you go to any painting and also, so you can do everything, right? You can just make a sketch and make different colors. So Canvas is your full-fledged uh, tool, drag drop kind of things. We can make your UI to your hard content. You can make a lot of colors, icons, everything. They have two different other things which have model driven apps and power app portals, which are they have no control on the UI, but more into towards the your backend about your data part, right? So again, when you use Canvas app, we have to use something called as a maker, a power maker.powerapps.com, and in that context we can have backup and export, which for example, I have my SharePoint site. I want to move to my dev to UAT server. So using the standalone, using a maker.powerapps.com, I can do it, but I can't do using SharePoint list. Okay, there are some limitations there. Same thing if using standalone app using the maker.powerapps.com, you don't have any integration. But if you use a customized list, you can do it. You can do same thing inside your Power Apps in your standalone apps and also customize. I know it looks very theoretical. I show you in the demo, you get much easier to do it. Okay, and let's see about how we can use a Dataverse. Dataverse is again a backend system which Power Apps uses a lot. Okay, so let's see how the Power Platform works with the Dataverse. So we have Power Apps for creating the applications. We have Power BI to create your building reports. We have Power Automate for your workflows, and Power Virtual Agents. On the backend, we always have a CDS. Now it's renamed it to Dataverse, but this is a common Dataverse where it's a common data which is actually in Azure, and you can have a scalability from one MB to petabyte for data. So because it's in Azure, you can have ton of data. You can do it. So now let's talk about the inventions and new process you can do. So when you have a Power Apps, you can actually build very easily with around 400 services. I can embed using my Google Sheets. I can embed with my SAP. I can add with my Azure SQL Server. Everything I can do. I can also easily manage same thing inside my SharePoint as well, right? Now, one more thing I want to highlight is that transformation. I mentioned my first slide is about the transformation. Now, because of the COVID, we are living in the COVID era. Transformation is no longer optional, right? If you see in Microsoft Teams, you can see that we have in last year in April, we have around 75 million active users who are using Teams. Why? Because they know that all the users know that using Teams is much safer and smoother and easier. Okay. Now, one more thing I want to highlight that Microsoft just announced in this Forbes screenshot that Microsoft has announced all their employees to work from home permanently. It's a big thing, right? All your employees can work from home from Microsoft, right? If you're working with Microsoft, you join the company, maybe you have to just go and sign the paper, but they can work from remotely permanently. That's a big thing, right? So a lot of the other companies like Spotify and Salesforce are also following the suit, right? Because they found it's more productive. You have more work-life balance there. You can spend time with family, you can do the work, and you can do anything. So these are the few things which I want to highlight that if the big company like Microsoft can go work with permanently, and other companies can also follow the suit, right? Because people make it more productive. You can have more work-life balance there, right? So that's the thing. And again, if we use Microsoft Teams, we can use with your Power Apps, and we can use flows as well. So there's something called as a data words for Teams. I'm going something a bit different now. So when you use Microsoft Teams, you can use the same system, which is like Power Apps, also use it, right? So it's actually used that it's a Power Apps using data words, but it's called as Dynamics. Backend is Dynamics 365. So these are all a backend is based on your Dynamics 365 on Power Apps as a built-in. It's a built-in storage by Microsoft Teams. Okay, and you can have all your capabilities, everything inside that one. Okay, so let me go back now. Let's see what is the difference between the data words for Teams and SharePoint. Okay, so one thing is very common, which I've seen so far for many customers and users, that this is a chart which I just came some queries, that what license you need for data words for Teams, Microsoft Teams for that matter. If you have license for Teams, maybe for Microsoft 365 basic plan, or even for the F1 license, the student license, you don't need additional license at all, because if you're using Power Apps, right? Power Apps and Power Automate. Same thing for a SharePoint Online also. And we have different connectors. Now, what is connectors? Connectors are the native connections through which you can connect to different systems in Microsoft. I can have connector for SharePoint. I can have connector with my SharePoint Online. I can have with Exchange Online, OneDrive, everything. And what is a premium connector? Premium connector which are created by external people like Adobe, MailChimp, and SAP. These are the premium connector which you have to purchase extra, right? So these are the few things which I want to highlight. Now, enough of talk. Let's talk about the business case here. Okay. Our business case, let's just recap what I told you about the business scenarios. Has so many issues we face because of the COVID. Now let's talk about the use case. Now we have a food service. Now my business case is a food service, because the COVID, a lot of people doesn't want to go outside. They want to order online, right? So in our data source, we'll be using SharePoint Online as a custom list, and the people can use either mobile or they can use a tablet. Okay, so this is a very simple applications, and I show you how we can use Power Apps and Power App and SharePoint Online work together. Okay, so let me show my demo first so that you can have an idea here. Okay, so this is my SharePoint Online, right? And I have a couple of things inside. Okay, so this is the one of the list which I created here, so called as awesome food service. And let's check the column which I have created so far. So I have something called as a title, and the customer name, the delivery timing, pickup timing, and delivery person, and the amount, right? And now because the COVID, people are want to work home. So what we can do, we can just give some tip to the delivery person, so that he also be happy, right? Because he's doing very hard work. He go to the restaurant, then picking the food and then giving to you. So we should give some tip to the person. Okay, and this is the column which I've created so far, right? So I will show you from scratch how I do it. But so what I will do here, this is my details. I will create a new list. I go to the site contents. Okay, what I will do, I'll create a new list. Okay, I'm doing everything from scratch so you can get the full idea. Now you can see that this is a new list. Now you can see this is a new user interface where you can have your own templates. You can have an issue tracker. I think Norman Young will be in the last session is showing about how to use the issue tracker. And you have a lot of ton of different kind of templates we can easily manage. Example of employee onboarding, event itinerary, the travel request, a lot of the things we can do. But in our example, I already have a list which I created, which is called as awesome public list, right? So I'm just use this list. I already showed you the template, right? The column. So this is a C sharp power platform. Okay, so this is the demo. Okay. Okay, so it's the same thing. What I'm doing, just creating that. I will click on the site navigation, create here. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm creating my backup. This is my thing. I just move it up so that is easy to manage. Go up. Okay, just like it. So it's easy to manage. Okay, so this is my list. Okay, same thing, right? So what I will do, this is my own SharePoint, right? What I can do, I can create a new item, right? I just add something called as new tally. Okay, and the customer name is maybe Simon. Okay, and I have a couple of things for Simon. Maybe just he want to have KFC. Maybe he's very hungry, he want to eat KFC, right? So and what he will do, like he just maybe it's also not nighttime, so maybe he is it's a dinner time, I think, here for Simon. So I put 8 p.m. and the pickup time, maybe I will go for the same day. Obviously I'm using same day, 10th, and I can do for 8:30 p.m. so that, yeah, and I know that I know he has a favorite person. So Alex is the person, and I can put, now this is too much food I have ordering, right? The chicken and the tender and Pepsi and all. So it is around $75, and I want to give some tip to him, $10, and codeine is a fast food, right? Yeah, so this is the list. Again, no rocket science, something I have done so far, right? Just a new tally, that's something I do. So this is the thing, pickup, right? So the things I will do come here, and this is the pickup person, right? Now, what I can do here is that I can go and go to the list settings here. And under that, I have something form settings. Now, this is a SharePoint form, the default SharePoint form, right? SharePoint form. I have two options. I can go and customize using a new Power Apps, or you can use InfoPath. I don't know how many people are using InfoPath, but the option is still there. I don't know, still option is there. But what I want to do, I just want to show you that I can able to customize. I can just create a new item. I have an option. That customize with Power Apps. Now, if you customize in Power Apps, what it will do, it will create a new user interface, and what will happen is that it creating three different screens, one for the web, one for the tablet, one for the mobile, right? So what it's doing is creating the same user interface here, and still few things, there's nothing much there. Only things I can add the fields. I can add the fields from attachment, the created by, cuisine type, everything. Very easy. But do you see it is integration with SharePoint, right? So all your permissions are coming from SharePoint, not from Power Apps, right? So it's an integration, right? But it's not very user friendly as well. So I'm not going for that. Okay. And I just close it off. I just close it off. Okay. Let's close it off. It doesn't make any sense for me. I go to SharePoint. Okay. I don't want to do it. Yeah. I also mentioned to you that you can't have a backup and the restore, right? So you can't have, when you have a SharePoint list, this is a SharePoint list, right? You can't have backup restore. You have the integration. I showed you, you had taken integration. You can do all the things, and the permissions are controlled by SharePoint, not by Power Apps. And this is not a very good way because you have no option to import and export to one system to another. Okay, so one thing. Now, what I will do next, right? I don't want to go for this. Let's start from scratch. Okay, so I'll go and go to something called as a office.com. Go to office.com. I go to Power Apps. And what I will do, I will go, now this is the Power Apps maker portal, and I can build many apps. This is by a few of the templates which create apps which I already created, and I can start. I can start from scratch. So in my use case, I want to create from scratch, right? I can start from SharePoint, but I don't want to start from scratch. So I can show you the user experience that how you as a normal person can create an app without writing a single line of code. Okay. So in my example, I'm going to create a single app. Okay. And I make it C# corner, platform. Demo. Okay, so I can use demo. I can use phone. I just use it because phone is better to use, better to have a more real space you have. Now what I'm doing, I want to create a new app, and I want to connect to SharePoint Online. Okay, so here it's nothing. It's a canvas. It's a blank canvas. You can do anything there. But what I want to do, I want to add a SharePoint connection, right? So how you can do it? Very simple. I go to a view, look for the SharePoint. I did this for SharePoint. Yeah, look for SharePoint. You see, I put a connection now. This is a connection. This is a standard connection. It's a standard connector. It's not a third-party connector. It's a standard connector. And I will go and pick. So let me connect here. This is a table, and this is the list which we are connecting to. So simple. Again, no rocket science, simple stuff we are doing, right? So I make a connection. Very important stuff. Always try to save the app. I have many times after a few minutes and all, I went for lunch or coffee break or something, and we have a timer for around 20 minutes. Then you have to re-authenticate. So try to save the app, and then you can do the things. Okay, so I make an app. I save an app. This is my application. So I've saved my app. So even I go for coffee break or tea and everything, my app is still in my cloud. Okay. Okay, so this is the thing I'm doing. Now what I will do next is just I want to create an app. How we can do is very simple. I just go and create a connector, which I already showed to you. And I will just create a simple I will just add a rectangle. Just rectangle actually is on the towards the end, one of the most useful shape you can use it. Okay, so here this is my app, right? My header. Okay, and what I will do, I will just try to connect to my data source, right? So here what I will do, I just connect to my data source. And this is my gallery. What is a gallery? Gallery is a container which can you have multiple data to be displayed, right? So what is a gallery? It is a container which can contain multiple entries from your data. So I can click on the vertical gallery, and I will just make it here, and then I can move so that it's more easy to view. Okay, and I will connect to my this SharePoint list. You see, Simon is now here. Okay, so I can just connect, and then I can add more things. I can just add the cuisine. I want to have to show to cuisine what cuisine Simon want to go. So I go and okay. So I don't want to have this. I want to have this particular user interface. So now you see, it's very simple. So I can just go for the cuisine. Where is my cuisines? Cuisine types are here. Fast food is my cuisine type, and customer title is same thing. You see, very simple. No coding done. Very simple. So fast food cuisine is there. Food is there. and the customer name is there. Very simple, right? So that's why it's very easy to make an app, and then we can just use it, right? So we have done with that. Okay, and what I will do here, just I want to add a label to just show that is our C# Power Platform demo. I can make it in white color, just like your Word documents and all. You can just do it here, simple stuff. Okay, yeah, you can make it brighter. Again, we can just increase to 20, right? Very, very simple stuff. It's too big. Okay, right, so yeah. So this way I can just make this my app simple, and then I can just do all the stuff here. Okay, so this is the my first screen. So I make it as a browse screen. Yes, browse screen. Okay, and what I will do next, I can add more screens. So I can add from here, or I can add. I have different type of screens I can go for. But I already have already made some changes. I can just duplicate, and I make it this one as a detailed screen. You see, so easy to create and Power App. Okay, I'm not going to, it can be go complicated scenario at times, but it's so easy to create, right? Now, what I will do next is that I want to show this gallery is not useful. I just delete it because I want to show the display form. So when you create here, we have two different kind of forms. We have the edit form and we have display form. So I just connect to display form here. And again, I connect to my data source, which is my SharePoint Online. Okay, now easily, you see everything is shown up here, right? So here I can easily connect to my data source. What is missing is that I have to connect to my data source. So this is my gallery, and my items should be shown as well here. Okay, so what I will do, there's something called as inform. We have to very important property called as item gallery. So what is the item gallery? Is the which item I'm selected. So I'm good gallery dot selected. You see all the details are shown up, right? So again, no coding. I just wire up my item property to gallery selected. This is my gallery selected. You see, so far, so fast I can just do it. Right, so this is the way I can just do the things. I can do a lot of other actions as well. And let me go here. So you can get this area, right? So we can do a lot of other stuff. We can add some icons. So adding icons is very simple itself. I can just go and there are a couple of icons which I can use it. The first icon is the back button, right? So we go to icons. I can go to my back button. Okay, I can go back here. Okay, and then make it consistent to same color. Okay, now what I'm doing, I want to go back. I want to go back to this button. For that, we have one formula which is called as action. Okay, this is the action. And then what I will do, I have to navigate, go back to my basic screen, the basic form, right? So I go to basic, I go to navigate. So same thing, navigate. And I want to go back to my browse screen. How you can do, I just go back and I use something called as cover. This is a transition I can use, a different transition to go back. Okay, and then go back here. So go back and try here, you see, and go back. You see, very easily I can go back here. Right, so this way I can just go and connect to my data source, right? I mean to my different screens. I can wire it up with my browse screen to detailed screens. Okay, so this is the way I can just do the stuff, very simple stuff. Okay, and so these are the stuff which I do. Now what I will do next is that I want to have a with the browse screen, so people can view the details. Maybe they can see the fast food and the Thai food or Indian food. Then they can go to the detailed screen. Again, they can see all the details. And what we also need is something called as a edit screen, edit or new screen. So this is the edit screen. So I make it edit. Okay, and then we don't need edit. We don't need edit because we want to add something called as edit form. So here I will do and create something called as edit form. So we have three. One is the browse screen. We have the detail screen. Now we are working on the add or edit form. So we can add, this is something called as add or edit form, right? Yeah. Okay. So we have to connect again. So again, our data source is SharePoint Online. Connect here. Okay, same thing. Now it is a new screen, right? It's very simple stuff. I just have three screens now. So we have a browse screen, data screen, and the edit screen. You see, within few minutes, we have created a new app without writing a single line of code. Okay. So these are the things. And I can change to maybe to second screen or full screen. I can change to vertical. Many ways I can do. One thing I've noticed that the order details is this was not required because I can just remove it. This attachment is not required. I can just delete it. And I can also want to add, because this is the order details will be too big. So I can just increase it. You see? I'm saving the app as well now. Okay, so this way I can just do some kind of changes in my form. Okay. And now I want to go back. I want to have some functionality through which I can able to add a new order details. So I click on the plus button, and then I maybe click white color, and then I want to move, right? So I just move here, and in this my plus button. In my plus button, what I will do, I just go to navigate, right? Go to navigate. Yeah, so I go to again. One of the properties which we use is called on select, and I want to navigate to which screen? I want to navigate to edit screen. Edit screen, and then maybe I put cover, go back, right? I click here. See, no item to display because we have not wired up the item property so far. So first thing I do, I just click here. I will just create something called as a new form. So we have a lot of form functions. So one form function is creating a new form, and I use called as form one. Okay, we click here. Let's see. Now we can see our new form is shown up because I want to have the capability for my end users to fill the form. Okay, and also I want to wire up with my item property as well. Okay, so my item property will be also showing up soon here. So put LD.selected. Same thing which I did for the other screen. Same thing here. See, so easy to do it, right? And other few things I want to just share with you that I can in this thing having back button doesn't make any sense. I have some option where the user can save the data, right? So again, we have a lot of options that we can go and click on the save button. Okay, and then also I will create an icon called as cancel, right? This is the app cancel. So user can just, after maybe a few options, say that I don't want to clear it, I can just reset. So I just want to go back and just click on the white color. So our app have consistent color here. Yes, very good. Okay, so now what I will do next is that I want to have in this particular screen able to save our Power Apps to SharePoint Online. Our this data, this particular form should be saved to SharePoint Online, right? How we can do it? Very simple. So we use some form functions through which we can save it, right? So what I will do here, I go to same thing, property, on select property. I click on the on select property. I will click on the submit form. You see, submit form. And which form? Form 1. My form 1 is there. Okay. And form 1. And then next action is I want to go back. My user should not save directly from here. I should go back. So we use another function called as back. Go to back function and go back here. So simple, right? Now, there's no coding here, just some configuration to be done. Now, what about this particular function on the screen, right? So again, I go back to my on select, and I can go to my, if the user want to clear it, I just go to reset form. Reset form. Which form? This form, which is add form. And I will go back again. I go to back function. So you see, I'm doing a chaining. First thing I'm doing an action called as a reset the form. What it will do actually clear all the content from here. And second, a semicolon, which means I'm going back to my home screen. So you can have a multiple semicolons and other functions together in this single app, in the single function, right? So I can have multiple. I can add some I can add some other function as well. So you can do a lot of things. I can add today. You can add as many things you can do, right? So this is something called as chaining, right? I give an example that what is possible. So I want to share. Okay, I'm done with that now, right? So these are things which we can save it, and we can go back, right? Now, next thing I want to go is about the details. Now, the user should be able to add it, right? So in my detail screen, I should have a capability to add it, right? So go back here, and then I go and in my edit screen, I go on select and go to navigate, go to add screen, anything, any function, any transition can go for, you see. So and same thing, I can just go and change my color. You see, now you can see our app is now going in shape now, right? We can see some data showing up, although it's not very clean, but at least you get an idea how it works and all, right? So this is the way you can just do it, okay? And the third thing is I want to browse it. If the user want to go back, then I have to go to detail screens. So here in the arrow button, I go to, in my on select, I go to navigate, go to my detail screens, and go to our, okay. So we have wired up the other functions, right? So let's see how it works, right? So I have an app, which is a browse screen, then I can add the details. So let's click on the, let me check whether anything is missing here. Okay, so okay, let's create here. Okay, so I want to add a new details, right? Maybe want to add Aroh, right? And then I made it Thai food. Okay, and the customer name is Aroh Shukla, and the delivery address I can put maybe in Singapore. Okay, order time. I'm very hungry, and let me put it to. It's 10:30, so maybe it's my supper time. So I put it at 10 p.m. and pickup time maybe 11 p.m. maybe, right? This is supper time, so it's quite late. Dinner, so I put it to 11 p.m. Okay. Delivery person maybe I could put to Megan. Megan is one of my favorite rider who always give me the right food, and I want to gift some food here. So this is my order details. Okay, so this is all my food. Everything is inside, right? Thai food, and then have my chicken. Everything is there. My mango fries and all. And I know it should be around $80. Okay, and then maybe I put 20, and then food. This is a Thai food. Okay, now I can go and save it. When you click on the save, what we'll do is see directly go to the my home screen. Now this app I can use in my tablet phone, I can use on my mobile phone, or I can use inside the web. This is the web version. So this way, if we use the standalone app, you can have a capability using your web versions, the mobile version, and any other version you can go for, right? So this is the way you can. This is very simple stuff we can do, and this is the C-sharp corner, the fight type. You see, the food has come now. You see, I can add the comment. I don't know what is the comment about, but yeah. So this way, I can easily create a food app using Power Apps, and this Power Apps can work. Let me publish this app. Let me publish this app here. Okay, save this app. So what is user publish? When you publish, then you can use for all your end users, right? So they can use this app in my, see, this is a demo which I created, right? So this is the app, all my end user can view it. You see, they can add the new items, they can add Indian food, John. So you get the idea. Very simple stuff. You can just add the things, and this give a capabilities that you can have same kind of functionality in your mobile phone or your tablet app now. So this is a very simple stuff which we can do without any kind of any hassle. You see that I didn't do any kind of code, right? It's a masala dosa. Okay, and we have 20 masala, $20, one $10, and Indian food. Okay, save it. Data is there, and it will display into a mobile phone. It display on my here as well. Right, when you refresh it, yeah, see, has come so far. Masala dosa has come so far. So you see, it's very easy to integrate. Now, what I want to show to you is that we can actually able to integrate the same thing into your mobile phone as well, right? So in my application, in my design team, maybe just want to add a Power Apps.
Aroh, I'm really sorry to interrupt. If you could just wrap in a couple of minutes.
Yes, yes, I'm going to finish now. Give me just 1 minute left on for me. Okay. Yeah, so here the same thing which I've shown to you, same demo which created, right? Now what all my end users can use this app in my Teams app now. Same thing, right? So you can do the same thing which in your Microsoft SharePoint Online or Microsoft Teams or in Power Apps. Same thing you can do in the same way. No rocket science. Everything I'm going to show you is just a simple demo. How Power Apps can work with the SharePoint Online and also able to integrate within Microsoft Teams. Okay, so that's what.